I'm very blessed, and I don't know what the future looks like, and I'm not going to predict it.
Shoot, I couldn't try it any harder.
You know, I had a chance to talk to Cam yesterday, and I have the utmost respect for him and what he's done.
We can win with this one. We can definitely win with another one too, because we're going to have a defense.
If I'm back and Taysom's there alongside me, call the plays that are going to put us in the best position to win. Right. And if that means Taysom Hill is taking 30 snaps a game, 25 snaps a game, then so be it.
It's going to be better, like signing a new contract or not having to answer questions about getting a new contract. Which will actually be better?
That's tough. Probably signing a new contract.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's be honest.
A lot of uncertainty in this offseason, and things can go a bunch of different ways. I will say this, though. I was reminded hearing Matt Rule talk about Cam Newton. Anytime someone says utmost respect, it's over. It's done. That's the precursor to we're going in a different direction. I have the utmost respect for you, Big Cat, but we've decided to end this relationship. So I don't want to tip my predictions, but I have a feeling that Matt Rule would like to move on from Cam Newton and that Cam Newton maybe would like to move on from the Panthers. All right, this draft, our off-season predictions, and God only knows what direction this is going to go, especially when the mind of Big Cat begins to come up with all sorts of ideas. Trivia question for the first pick. Jay Cutler is the Bears' career leader in passing yards and touchdown, but he doesn't hold the single-season record for either of those categories. Which Bears quarterback has the single-season record for touchdown passes and passing yards?
I just assume it's Sid Luckman because he's second in all of the categories.
My God! I'm astounded for two reasons. First, you don't know your Bears. It's Eric Kramer.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I always just say Sid Luckman because he's number 2 on everything besides Jay Cutler.
But wouldn't it be better to actually know the facts than assume it's Sid Luckman?
No,
Secondly,
this is stupid.
We used the exact same question yesterday. You don't watch the show.
Oh,
so
I
you
definitely
can
don't
never
watch the
bust
show.
my chops about not listening to
watch the
Pardon
show.
My Take. We agree on that. I don't listen to Pardon My Take, and you don't watch the show on the days that you're not on the show.
I definitely don't watch the show. You're absolutely right. I definitely don't watch the show. That was never in doubt.
All right, here's my prediction, and we have to be clear that these are predictions. I saw that ESPN.com had a bit where every one of their beat writers had a prediction for the offseason, and some turned that into a report of what's going to happen. This isn't a report. This is a prediction. Prediction number 1 for me, Tom Brady is leaving the New England Patriots. That's my prediction because I believe the only way he stays is if Bill Belichick gets on a knee and professes his undying love for Tom Brady, applies his lips to each butt cheek of Tom Brady, and pays him more than $30 million. Belichick isn't going to do it. Brady's going to leave. That's my prediction.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
You think he's staying?
You're wrong.
All right.
I think he's staying.
Care to make it?
I think it's going to be one of those. Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to bet. I think you owe me a steak dinner right now.
How about
I'm not
your
betting
jacket?
my jacket. I think it's going to be one of those situations where we will hear. When does free agency start? March 14th. Is that right?
18th.
18th. We will hear somewhere around March 15th, 16th that Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft all had a dinner together that lasted 7 hours, and there were tears, and there was wine, no strawberries, but maybe a little steak, and they hashed it all out, and they said, let's get the band back together, and let's give this another run for 2 more years. That's what's going to happen.
If that happens, it's happening before March 15th. By March 15th, the ship has sailed. I think if it's going to happen within the next few weeks. And there's enough out there. There's enough already out there with Brady deliberately trolling. And I think Brady likes the attention. I mean, he set himself up to have a shot at free agency at this stage of his career. I think he's reached his lifetime limit of dealing with Bill Belichick. 20 years is more than enough, and I think he's ready to move on. Unless Bill Belichick shows that he is willing to change the way he interacts with, the way he regards, the way he treats Brady. He's always been able to keep Brady down a little bit. And one of the reasons I think Brady has taken less over the years, I think Brady's taken less not because he wants to have more money for other players. I think he's never wanted to get cut by Belichick because Belichick looks at what Brady's doing, looks at how much he's paying him, and decides I'm paying this guy too much money. I think that's one of the reasons why Brady's always done it. So I think Brady is ready to get out from under this cloud that he has resided under for 20 years, and I think he's leaving. What's your first pick?
Who's keeping you down? It feels like that was projecting. That felt oddly personal there when you're like, he just wants respect, and he wants people to realize it's him. oddly personal. Who's keeping you down? Just ask yourself that later tonight. Someone is.
Do you have the monitor? Do you have the monitor on? Can you see the monitor? Mm-hmm. The guy on the right side of the screen is who I'm talking about.
Is that?
You.
I got what you're saying. Okay. All right, so I'm Belichick. That's fine. My first pick, which you are going to disagree with, very much so, Cam Newton will stay on the Carolina Panthers. I think the Carolina Panthers, yeah, I know you disagree. They're going to look around and they're going to say, what's the better option here? Where is it? You know what? Let's see what we have with Cam Newton one more year. If he's healthy, he still can be a top 10 guy. You don't walk away from guys like that. Do it for one more year. Next year, you can make the decision based on how he plays this year. I think they're going to have a come-to-Jesus moment and realize, hey, there's not a lot of options out there right now for quarterback. Maybe draft someone. They drafted Will Grier last year. Get him working a little bit more. Cam Newton will still be on the Panthers come week 1.
How can you say there's not a lot of options at quarterback? Have you seen all the names in free agency, all the guys who are available who aren't free agents? Phillip Rivers. What about Phillip Rivers?
Cam Newton's better.
If he's healthy, I think the organization has reached a level of fatigue with this constant concern. Is he healthy? Can he get healthy? Will he be healthy? And look, only the team knows what it's like to deal with Cam Newton behind the scenes. They've done a good job of never having any public explosions. But remember the video last year with the cigar and the glass of Cabernet, and he kind of bared his soul about the injury. I don't think they like that. And there's a lot of change happening now. New owner, new coach. There's a new vibe. And when David Tepper was asked about Cam Newton, and he said it's important we have guys here who buy in, that tells me that Tepper maybe thinks Newton doesn't buy in. And Tepper's had a year to monitor Newton. I think they're going to move on. And it's a very tradable contract, and I think he's going to get traded to the Chargers. That's where I think he's going to be in 2020. All right.
We disagree.
Next one for me. Drew Brees is returning to the Saints in 2020. I believe that based on interviewing him last week. He's seriously considering retirement. I think he's going to play.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to play? No, I think he's going to play. I don't think he's seriously considering retirement. I think that Drew Brees definitely wants to play, and he's going to stay and do another year. And look where that team has been every single year the last 3 years. They've been in the playoffs. They've had a chance. I mean, you could say, obviously, they lost the first round this year, but it feels like they've had a chance to win the Super Bowl every year in terms of looking at the landscape, and they're one of the best 5 teams, but by the late December. So I think he's going to come back and say, we still have a chance. Let's try to do this again.
I think that he is seriously considering retirement. I was told that the team is actually trying to talk him into coming back. They want to move on to Taysom Hill at some point, but not this year. And I think the contemplations are more serious. This isn't a Brett Favre, look at me, Ben Roethlisberger, look at me move. We've never heard this from Brees in all these years. And he told us last week he seriously considered retiring after the 2017 season going into that year. If they hadn't had that turnaround that they had, he may have walked away then. And no one ever said boo about it. This isn't Drew's way to try to conjure fake attention by suggesting that he's considering retirement just so people talk about it. I think he's seriously considering it, and I think he's coming back. What do you got next?
Okay, my next one's very bold. I thought these were bold predictions. I didn't realize they were Mike Florio just stating the obvious. But my bold prediction here
Cam Newton staying on the Panthers is really going out on a limb.
That is absolutely a bold prediction. You said there's basically no chance he stays. My next prediction, offseason prediction, Jameis Winston. I don't know how the money's going to work out. We'll figure that out some other time. Jameis Winston will be signed by the Chicago Bears. I'm ready for it. Jameis 101. Future Hall of Famer Jameis Winston on the Chicago Bears. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. My body is ready.
Do you want him? Do you want him on the Bears?
Yeah. Why not? Let's have fun. Let's get crazy.
What happens to Mitchell T?
We'll figure it out. Maybe
you keep them both?
Both? We'll run like the Lloyd Carr offense at Michigan. We'll go quarters. First quarter, that is Mitch. Second quarter, Jameis.
That is bold. I don't think the Buccaneers are going to let him go. I think they're trying to wear him down and maybe soften his expectations. 5,109 passing yards, 8th all-time, single-season mark. You got to keep him if you're the Buccaneers. You got to keep Jameis Winston. But
I just wanted a bold prediction. I want to put this out there in the ether. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And it's going to get attached to me somehow, and I'm going to get blamed for the whole thing. Last one for me, and I'm going to keep it quasi-serious or mostly serious. I think the Raiders are moving on from Derek Carr. I think they're going to upgrade at the quarterback position, and Carr will not be with the team in 2020. So that house that he built next door to John Gruden, he's never going to actually live in it. He's going to sell it to whoever the quarterback of the Raiders is in 2020.
I think Derek Carr is just awkward enough to maybe still live in it. Maybe that's his offseason home. And he's just like, I'm just hanging out here. That actually would be a great move, wouldn't it? Just because, like, it would bother Gruden if you just lived next to him in the offseason after Gruden cuts him. I agree with this. I think I could see this happening. So good pick, Mike. My last pick is the best pick in the draft. With the CBA negotiations going on, when is that going to ramp up, Mike? When is the CBA negotiations?
It is right now. It is.
Okay.
They're going to get it done by March 18th, or it gets tabled for a year, I think.
All right. So then I'll phrase it this way: Mike Florio will continue to get into arguments online about the CBA negotiations and what is happening with the league and the players.
That's really going out on a limb. Boy, you've really gone out on a limb there. You're really putting your reputation on the line with that one.
This is Mike Florio. If you don't have alerts on for his tweets, once these negotiations ramp up, Mike Florio, the lawyer, comes out, and that's a bulldog. You don't want that. Never lost a case. Never lost a case.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to disagree with you, even though you're wrong.
You did lose a case.
And anybody who's never lost a case has never tried a case, because there's so much uncertainty that goes into it, and you can never control what 6 or 12 people are going to do. So, yes, I will say this. It does irritate me because so many of the people who follow the sport have no clue how this all works, and they just spit out whatever someone tells them without any context or analysis. So you're probably right. I will be fighting. Not that I fought with anyone recently or like in the last 12 hours. Or will do soon as the show's over, and I go and see whether or not a certain tweet that is a bold-faced lie has been deleted or revised. No, other than that, there'll be no fighting from me.
I do appreciate, in all seriousness, Mike, we'll throw aside, the fun we're having here. I do appreciate your point of view when it comes to these type of things, because as a regular fan, I don't understand any of it. And when it comes to, like, the legalities, the contract negotiations, none of this makes sense to me. So Mike Florio is your source. Never lost a case. Let's just put that as a tagline. Mike Florio never lost a case. Never lost a case you didn't want to lose. How about that?
Probably no, that won't work either. Never lost a case of malt liquor. Never lost a case of football cards. I mean, depending upon what the case is, then I think we can make that into a true statement.
You never lost a case you won. There it is.
There
you
we go.
literally
That's
have
good.
never lost a case you won. Yeah.
That would, if I would have ever done those lawyer advertisements that I never really wanted to do because I couldn't bring myself to do it, that would have been the great tagline. I've never lost a case I won.
Yes.
All right, let's take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.